Hi, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album from Tegan and Sara called Hey, I'm Just Like You. The opener, Hold My Breath Until I Die, has some very gentle, shoegazy, jangly guitars in the background, including some acoustics during the refrain. The lyrics kind of revolve around this idea about blowing your chance with somebody and feeling so much shame and regret that you'll feel better once you're dead. It's very, very melodramatic, but I kind of feel like that's the point on this track. Regarding the hook, I think it's good. It has like a metric feel to it that appeases me very well since I'm a big fan of metric. And I think it's a really good opener with some solid production. This song is more of like a synth pop indie rock fusion. I like some of the sectional parts where it goes from acoustics to a fuller sound, utilizing electronics and stuff. I think the refrain is okay. That's really the most I can say about this track. I don't really get a lot out of it. This one sounds like it is a song off of a Disney Channel original movie soundtrack. No, thank you. The song's instrumental here is pretty low key at first. It uses these very gentle washes of electronics and acoustic strums. The lyrical themes are mostly about insecurity and how lacking communication just kind of kills your self esteem. I think it's a decent theme to sing about, and it has some dramatic southern chords as the sound like loudens up, but I just feel like the songwriting doesn't reach its full potential with this theme. So it's just kind of just sitting there for me. There are some dramatic keys to start off, and some soft Baroque elements make their way into the mix as the track progresses. The chorus, however, it sounds really underwhelming, like it's very half baked. The songwriting here is pretty lackluster as well, and it makes the song feel very overly dramatic. But I will say it does have a pretty strong finish to it. I like the way the instrumentation swells up for a more enjoyable finish, in my. This track starts off with some acoustic chords before a bass guitar kind of comes in and gives the song more of a fullness feeling. It sounds like a high school dance, like slow jam, essentially. But the songwriting here is very lackluster, and the performance here does nothing to make anything they're saying come off of the page. The refrain here also isn't great, but I do like how the instrumental does a decent job to try and enhance it. I really have nothing else to really say about this. It's just okay. This one's more of like an alt rock instrumental with some swells and instrumentation here or there, but God, the sound here is so bland and characterless. You could stick this on any other album made by anyone else. Like there's nothing that tells me this is a song made by Tegan and Sara. It just sounds like something you get off like GarageBand or something. And the theme of love at this point, kind of being like reminisced in it, is very overdone at this point of the album. It just there's no variants or different perspectives to spice up the topic, so it just sounds like a broken record. This one's a more of an acoustic heavy track. I think the instrumental performance is all right, and I think the theme here about being afraid that life won't go as planned and that life would be wasted as it goes on is actually pretty interesting. But again, the songwriting does nothing to enhance it, so it ends up just being another low point on the album. It's a giant waste in my opinion. The sound here is okay. I think the rock instrumentation has more character on here, though not by much. I think it's just better than what we've gotten previously. But at this point of the album, you can tell how the structure of the track is going to go. It's almost exactly like the other tracks, or most of the other tracks on the album. It's just build up, hook, build up, and then boom, big refrain, large outro, something like that. And this is no exception. Along with that, the songwriting here is pretty bad as well, and the performance, it's so similar to the others on the track that it gives this one no apparent importance at all. We don't have fun anymore. It starts off with some electric keys that are pretty dense and a bass guitar chords in the background. The theme of getting bored in a relationship is actually somewhat done well here. It doesn't have an overly grandiose or dramatic instrumental, so it helps out the performance convey the topic in a very engaging manner. The hook is alright, and I like the outro of the song quite a bit here. It's actually one of the better tracks on here. The instrumental here, it has like an apparent early 2000s pop rock influence. I think the theme here of being raised so high and mightily where it causes people to gravitate away from you. And the performance here kind of puts in or conveys this idea that they're putting on a tough face, saying, "Oh, I never need you," Well, in the lyrics, they're also saying, "Yeah, I kind of want you back. You know, please don't leave me. Don't leave me alone here, please." And I kind of wish the songwriting took another step to really enrich this idea because it is marred by how glaring the repetition here is. It sounds like the duo is having a tough time picking whether they want to make a statement or they want to be accessible. I kind of like the dramatic instrumental here. I think it's just enough to be a backdrop to the theme of the song, which I really like. It's about presenting the world what you are or what you choose to be, and I think that's very interesting. I think the hook and the performance are very heartfelt, and they support each other very well, and it's surprisingly a pretty good closer. This, for the most part, is a pretty bland and generic album to me. I do think there are a couple bright spots on here, but among the bright spots are just like this big amount of unfinished ideas, these mess of ideas, and just the execution of the record just feels like it was just not done very well. I'm very hopeful in the future that Tegan and Sara kind of refine their sound to provide something more enjoyable, something more unique to them. But overall, I'd give this album like a 4 out of 10.